Uh, this is the extended or the another version of the project one. So we are going to resume the task which we have already completed in the project one. So let's recap. In the last section, we knew the how launch screen and main and the initial view controller is configured inside the project. Now we will add the more steps here. So the first of all, I will going to rearrange my code structure first, then we'll move on the another part. So it would be better for the future also. So let's rearrange the code. So I'm going to create the one group here. Uh, so let me put the group name view controller. View controller. See, if I go inside the folder, this is the view controller. This folder is created inside the project one. uh, One thing I guess I forgot to show you, so let's start from there. So I'm going to quit this project, and let me go inside the project first. So see, project one, you will have the project one folder when you have already created the project. Now you need to click on the project one and it will open. So this was the piece of information I forgot to show you. Now let's resume. So I have created the one view controller group. If I go with the help of sorry, not inspector, so in finder, then see inside the project one the view controller is created, nothing is inside. Now what I want is all the view controller I want to put here. So we have the one home VC, home view controller. So let me drag it, sorry, press drag it. Okay, now I want to put the all the storyboard inside the one group. So let me create the another group, new group, storyboard, and I'm going to drag it to storyboard. Okay, see, now we have the two groups, one of name storyboard, and right now we have only one storyboard of name. That is the default when we have created, but later in the future we may need the more storyboards, because the all the design stuff, if we put inside the one storyboard, that would be the messy and the difficult for handling purpose also. So it would be better to create the more storyboard and put the related informations, designs inside that storyboard. So that is the thing. And let me run it again. It works, nothing changed programmatically. So now the thing is, oh, it is taking time. So till then, let's continue. Okay, it ran. I didn't see the, okay, okay. So first view controller is running now. Now what I want to do is I want to add the more storyboard, sorry, one more view controller, and the when I tap on the first view controller, I should able to move on the another view controller. So for that, there is the concept of the navigation controller. When we create the application, we don't have the navigation controller in anything. I will come about the navigation controller in detail, but for now, just follow me. So first of all, we have the home BC, and we need to add the one navigation controller just before the home BC, so that the navigation controller help us to move from one view controller to another view controller smoothly. So you can do like this, select this home BC, go inside the editor, embed in, and navigation controller. See what happens. We have added the one navigation controller. So navigation controller technically wraps or puts the view controller inside that nav. So this is the base working flow from in which we can load the different view controller. And right now if we see, the home BC is embedded with this navigation controller. So let's see the screen. Previously it was like this, and now after adding the navigation controller, let's try to run it. Nothing new yet, but now this help us to add the more view controller. So now I'm going to add the one more view controller inside the design, inside the storyboard. That is the, you can press here, and in your Xcode it may be, if your Xcode version is older, then you can see on the bottom right corner of the right navigation view, you will see those components. But in the latest version of Xcode, you will see here. Now here is the different options. We should go with objects. So there is a lot of objects, but we need to find the view controller. And as I have already informed, told you, the view controller defined inside the UI kit is UI view controller. See this one, and drag it somewhere inside your storyboard. Okay, fine. So in our storyboard, we have added one more view controller. But remember, see, this one is the new view controller we have added. Previous one was the home BC and the navigation controller. So all together we have the three components inside this storyboard. And now, right now, we are working on this view controller. See, the class of this view controller is by default UI view controller. So this is already defined in the UI kit, which I have already explained in the previous video. So now the next task will be, we need to map this view controller design part of this view controller with some kind of the code um, in this project. So we need to make that first. So let's move on the view controller, because it is we presume that we will add all the view controller inside the view controller section. Right click on it, and let's click on the new file. Then this is defined inside the coquatus class. uh, this is defined inside the coquatus class. This is not a general Swift file. So let's select the coquatus class. uh, then subclass of, we are going to make the subclass of UI view controller. So any view controller must be subclass of UI view controller. That's why if it is not selected, then you need to select, and you can do like this. Okay, view controller, and let me name it my mm, my info bc. Okay, so now we are going to create the new view controller inside our project. And here is the another checkbox, also create xib. No, we don't, because we have already created the design part, so we should not check it. And the language should be Swift. Now I'm going to create the one view controller. Okay, so we have created the my info bc. Now still the one piece of information, this view controller should be mapped with the design part which we have defined inside the main storyboard. So there is nothing new, we'll come in later. Let me remove this commented code for now. Okay, so now let's move on the storyboard again. So this was the new view controller which we have added. Now we need to map this view controller with the uh, Swift file which we have created inside, which is inside the view controller group. So click here, move on the fourth section of the right menu, and you can see here my info BC, or you can, if you didn't find, and if there is a lot of view controller, then you can simply type my info BC. See, uh, now the module is changed to the ProjectOne. Now the one thing is, new thing is, whenever we create the new design inside the storyboard, it is useful to put the unique storyboard ID. And generally for my I used to put the story ID of the exactly same name which we have created. So you can put any name which will be helpful while loading the view controller in the future. But the right now, let's put the storyboard ID. It is mandatory. It requires in the future. So storyboard ID of this view controller is the my info BC. I put the same name which I have created inside the view controller. You can do any other names also, but it would be better for the readability purpose also. Storyboard ID, restoration ID, you can put the same. So now it's done. Now the thing is, we have mapped this view controller with the Swift file of the my info BC. Now they are related, but let me run it again. Nothing will be changed because we have created only the view controller and mapped with the Swift file, but there is no relation with the first home BC to this one. So for that, I'm going to add the one button inside the home BC, and when I will press that button, I should able to move on the another view controller. This is the my info BC. So let me change the color of the my info BC for now. So my info BC, select the view inside that view controller and change the color to this one. Okay, blue works fine. Okay, so nothing changed till now. Now we need to add some buttons inside the home BC, and we need to relate it with the help of the programming. So I'm going to add one button here. Again, UI button we have. Okay, this one. See, in the home BC we have the view, and inside the view we have the button. Nothing new up to this. I can change the text level of button by clicking here, or the you can select the button here. In the on the right side you will see the title. So move to my info BC. Okay, the button name is this. Now let me run this project again. So I see this button, but when I press, nothing is happening because we haven't written the code related to this. So a simple way is, let's do first the simple way. So press Control, okay, press Control and drag from this. See, action segue. So we can present this my BC after tapping uh, move to my info BC button. So these methods are duplicated, but still I can use, I think so. See, now what is happening? Okay, it is moving me to the my info VC. Let me do it again. So I'm going to, let's click it and delete it. Now there is no relation. Now again select this button, press Ctrl in your keyboard and drag. Now you drag and drop. You will see the different option and I have selected push. Okay, it works. So now we are moving from one view controller to the another view controller by tapping uh, move to my info VC. So that's it, and there is the default back button. This is the due to the navigation controller. So we did with the help of a storyboard, but in general practice it is not good, and sometimes it would be the messy to handle. So let's do the same thing with the help of code, and it is strongly recommended to do all these steps with the help of the code when you work professionally. So let's remove it, delete this one. Okay, let me run it. Okay, nothing is happening. Okay, so now the thing is, now we have the one button inside the home BC, only in the design part, not in the coding part. So we need to relate that. So see, home BC, and I can open the related mapped view controller with the help of this one. See, I have the two splitted screen here. In the first screen we have the storyboard, and in the second splitted screen let's move to the view controller, ProjectOne view controller home BC. Okay, so in the left part we have the home BC and the related code is in the right side. So now we need to relate this button with some kind of action. What happens, what should I do when I do some kind of action inside this button? So right click on it, right click on it, and you will see that there is a lot of option. For now, useful is third one from this, that is the touch of inside. What should I want to do when I tap on that button? So click here and drag it to somewhere inside your project, not inside the method, above or below that method. So let me put the method name here, btn my info action. I put, generally my convention is I start with the keyword btn and the ends with the word action. So this means the btn my info action signifies that what should I do when this button is tapped. See, when I did it, we have the one function of name btn my info action, and this is the IB action, because we are this function is related to the design which we have created in the storyboard. So IB action, IB outlet types of the keywords comes when we relate the X method with the some view component. So this is the technically when I press this button, this method will be executed. So let me put some code here and let's test it is working or not. So print, oops, print move to my info BC is tapped. Okay, let me check it works or not. So when I press this button, I should able to see this in the log. Okay, seems working. Move to my info BC, tapped. It's working. Now, now I want, okay, now I want to move to another view controller, that is the my info BC, when I tap here. So I should able to do this, but for that I need to write the code. So the first step would be I need to gain the reference of this view controller, right? So need to get reference of, first of all, sorry, storyboard, reference of storyboard. So in our case we have only one storyboard, that is of name main storyboard, and so need to get the reference of a storyboard. Next step is need to get the reference of view controller inside view controller inside storyboard. Okay, these are the two tasks we need to do. This is pretty much simple. I'm going to copy the code. So the first step is let main storyboard equal to sorry, story storyboard of name in bundle. What is the name of our storyboard? Of course, that is storyboard name is main. So main and bundle, let's put it nil. So we got the reference of storyboard. Now from that storyboard we need to get the reference of view controller. So next step is this one. So how could we do that? So the what is this view controller name? My info bc equal to, now we can do that with the help of storyboard. So let's do, okay, main storyboard instantiate view controller with identifier. See, identifier, it is asking me to put the identifier name of that storyboard. As you remember, I think you have already remembered, we put the this storyboard view controller identifier is my info. So I will put it here. Okay, so there is the two steps. First, we need to get the reference of storyboard. Storyboard name is the main storyboard, and the my info vc, this is the view controller reference, with that can be achieved with the help of the storyboard reference. So the main storyboard instantiate view controller and identifier name we put my info vc. That's why I'm using that one. So we got the instance variable of this view controller. So let's run to make sure we'll not go with any type of crashes till now. So now we have the view controller. Now third line is we need to load this my info BC inside our current navigation controller after tapping that method. So that is the self.navigation controller. This is the reference navigation controller. This is referring to this one, self.navigation controller, and I'm going to push the another screen here. So dot push view controller name is new view controller name is my info vc, and the animated, let's make it false for now. Okay, so now task is done. Let me run it again. Okay, when I press it goes to the another screen. Since the animation is false, then you can see how it is moving. See, it changes instantly. If I make it true, so then it will show us some kind of transition. See, moving. Okay, let me recap once again for this tutorial. In this tutorial, we learned uh, to add the more view controller inside the storyboard, and then we learned the more view controller inside the storyboard, and then we learned how to relate that view controller with the code. And the key point is we should have the unique storyboard id with all the view components inside the storyboard. So that is the one thing, and we have rearranged our code base. I put the all the storyboard inside the one group, and the all the view controller inside the another group. And then we learned how to move from one storyboard to another, one view controller to another view controller, uh, with the help of the storyboard, from the storyboard. And the same thing we learned how we can do from the code. Next thing is embedding the view controller with the navigation controller, which helps us to load the different view controller uh, based on the action or the requirement. So let's move on the code part. We added the few code inside the home BC. So see, we have created the one BT on my info action. This method will be called when we tap on some button defined inside view controller, and the we got the reference variable of storyboard, and then the reference variable of the view controller defined inside the storyboard. Once we got the reference variable of the view controller, then we write the third lines of code to move from current view controller to another view controller. This is possible with the help of this code. So let's uh, stop this video up to this, and in the next section we will came with the more code inside this inside project one. Thank you.